Welcome back to ISEE Reading Comprehension. Today, we'll be discussing vocab questions. In these questions, the test will ask you what a word in the passage most nearly means. Remember, this is within the context of the passage, as many of these words will have multiple different definitions, but based on the context of the passage, you can choose the right definition. So, how should you solve them? You should always reread the sentence with the word before guessing, because remember, there are multiple meanings to these words, so you might have a synonym that's a correct synonym, but it isn't correct in the context of the passage. You should then plug your answer choice into the sentence to be sure. Let's try it. In line 32, vulnerable most nearly means... Okay, so we're looking for the word vulnerable. We need to go to line 32 in the passage and read the sentence before we take our guess. This is from our camouflage passage, where a butterfly may have a false head opposite its true head to decoy birds into striking at its least vulnerable part. So I'll take a guess. I'm going to say they want it to strike at its least weak part, because it's saying it'll have a false head that is trying to trick birds into striking so that it's at its least weak part. So now I'll look at the answer choices. Vulnerable most nearly means weak, so I'll now try to find an answer choice that matches up with this. I'll also try to put each answer choice in the context of a short phrase from the passage. So I'll say that they want them to strike at a place that is least vulnerable. So a place that is least blank. A place that is least unable to fight is not really right, because they're not talking about the head fighting back. A place that is least exposed to harm, that could be right. A place that is least unaware of danger, it's not really about being aware. And the place that is least favorable for survival is the opposite. So our answer is the least exposed to harm. This next question is on the passage about the Florida freezes. In line 28, the word gelid most nearly means... Okay, so don't look at the answer choices. Let's just go to that sentence in line 28. Northwesterly winds traveling at almost 1,000 miles a day brought a deadly mass of gelid air to Florida. The freeze lasted for 4 nights at its coldest and split bark of trees. So this whole passage is about freezes, and in that next sentence after the word gelid, we can see that it's about cold air. So I'm going to take a guess that gelid means cold. You may just be able to find your answer choice now, but we can also put it in the context of the phrase to be sure. So the phrase was a deadly mass of blank air. It wasn't a deadly mass of humid air. Deadly mass of icy air sounds right because that's close to cold. A deadly mass of liquid air would not be right. And a deadly mass of windy air could be okay, but if we compare both answer choices to cold, icy is the best answer. Click continue to try this type of question on your own.